As the longer arm. People in Akuda have been saying campaigns haven't even been as aggressive as you would imagine. Because, of course, Mr. Governor is incumbent. So, in a manner of speaking, there's more to go around from his side. So his face is on a lot of billboards, radio jingles, and so on. How many people today can muster the sort of watchers you need to fund in this era?
In these times,
in this economy. So the governor is it may just be a shoe-in, a fait accompli of some sorts.
Okay.
But that is not to necessarily impugn a process that is about to take place on its own. Let the voters go to vote. Out of 1.7 million votes, I hope that they're even able to get up to 500,000 come out to register, come out to do validation and accreditation.
All right.
How much more cast their ballot and then,
Okay, let's begin to find out, Cyril, more stories. Take this howler. Lagos hospital killed my wife by removing her fibroid womb without consent, the husband.
Without consent?
Yeah.
That is below standard medical practice. He didn't sign a consent form, or somebody signed in instead. Maybe when we read the story, we will know better. But the point to be made is very simple and straightforward. That no hospital will, in broad daylight, do anything like that. That they will. But then again, if he has a case, there are disciplinary bodies to.
There are grounds for redress.
Yes, for redress. And I think he should seek it.
Oh yeah.
The other time,
because we live in an environment where you leave everything for God.
Please, you shouldn't do that, because even God didn't say you leave everything for Him. This is the reason you are in a country and there are laws, and it's not a theocracy, right? It's a democracy. There was a time, yes, a similar case happened involving one of the most prominent doctors in Lagos. That one has had a practice for many years, fully integrated into the community where he was serving, not far from where we are. Then something went awry about a young man in the community that I think either had a gunshot wound or something. The hospital didn't want to treat him. They treated him initially. They said money must come. Long story short, they hauled this man before the FCCPC. So that's one place. This thing was televised. It was live on TV. The doctor wept. Said after almost 39 years of practice, this is what he would.
Oh yeah.
Yes, but the fact is, redress is redress. The FCCPC is one option. Or you can report them to maybe MD the Medical and Dental Council, Regular Council. They should but don't just leave it at level of accusation. Make a report and let us have an investigation into what really might have happened.
All right then. This is a somber one. Tears as Lagbaja buried at Abuja gets posthumous national honor.
Oh yes, the entire government establishment, from the president to ministers to even the media, there's been a lot of fellow feeling and weighing in, on the man's passing. Clearly, this was a man who was a people's person. As a matter of fact, on LinkedIn yesterday, I saw a picture of him when he was. This was 1998 thereabout, with somebody who was supposed to be a youth corps back then. Maybe it was the camp commandant, and they stood down, they took a picture, and the person said, "Oh, you could see this was Lagbaja very, very young. I mean, away.
Yeah.
Yes, if you took away some 25 years or 26 years from his life, he was a very young man back then, and he looked like a normal person, So, again, our hearts go out to the family and to friends. Our prayers are with you at this time. We hope that you find the fortitude to bear this irreparable loss.
The Nigerian army, the family, both nuclear and extended, must realize they are not alone here.
Yes, they are not alone here. And that, citizen, if it bears adding, that there is honor in paying the ultimate price for your country.
Yeah.
That we stand with you, yes.
And it reminds me of this famous line. I've forgotten the author. You remember. Lives of great men, might I add women, remind us that we can make our lives sublime and on departing leave footprints on the sands of time.
Yeah. Henry Longfellow.
Yeah. Wordsworth.
Yes. Henry Wordsworth Longfellow, the American poet.
Yeah.
I think he was also the one who wrote the lines, the heights by great men writ and kept were not at a sudden flight. Yeah.
Wow.
But they, while their companions slept, kept on toiling through the night.
Oh,
I can't forget those lines because I did it for my junior. Funny enough, the poem was so good that it went from being a poem to study to a poem to memorize for life. Yeah, so Longfellow had this uncanny ability to write lines that could. In fact, that poem is called A Psalm of Life. This one you just read now is called A Psalm of Life.
A psalm.
Yes, of life. He had a way of writing poems that just stuck with you.
Wow.
Yes, so, yes.
All right, consider this. Ogunlesi's son buys $500,000 ring for American actor's ex-wife.
Yeah, because he announced that they had been engaged and that they were about to get married. I think, or she announced. Yeah, I mean, but it's their sphere, it's their realm, it's their life, it's the way they'll have things done.
Ogunlesi, that's the owner of the Gatwick Airport?
Yes. That's the son, not the man, the son.
If the son not buy him, now who for buy him?
Hey, now with they talk, it's them, you know. So.
All right. Consider this another howler. Desperate Nigerian.
Citizen, you know that Bible verse that said that they wash their hands in wine. It is the reason that Chebe said, if you wash your hands well,
you chop with elders.
So, again, stories like this, well, tell us that there are possibilities in this life, which.
See, more stories in the punch.
Yes, I agree with you.
Consider this. Desperate Nigerian girls turn to selling nudes for cash.
Oh, no. Not just crazy. That is patently wrong. This is patently so immoral. So nothing justifies this. You know, I always ask this question, which First Osei, bless his soul, raised in his famous novel Violence. Are you violent or was it in Victims? Are you violent because you're a soldier? Or you're a soldier because you're violent? So are you selling nudes because you're hungry? Or you're hungry because you're selling nudes? You don't no. Bad thing, no. I can't call it what it is on air. But Naim, there's no You know what always comes to mind? For every time anybody gives up on life, there are those who had less than you did and yet went on to make it. And for every time it's how much what that you even had the knowledge to get news to sell. You are an entrepreneur on the other side, please. Don't use poverty as an excuse to do what is wrong.
Oh yeah.
And the people that abide in so
you remember the song Napoa Apon Anokris.
Anokris.
All right, hear this one. 8 Nigerians nabbed for kidnapping fraud. Kidnapping and fraud in Philippines.
I hope it's an allegation.
Maybe Nigeria was too small for them.
There are some countries where you can be doing allegation and preliminary interlocutory injunction. So in Singapore, when they catch thief, even when it was a German, they will put him on a bench and carry cane, lash him well.
Yeah, neighboring Malaysia, you remember the case of the Nigerian who was 14 when he was nabbed? And their law forbids.
They waited for him
until they kept him, fed him
until he was robust enough to take punishment. It's the same thing. These countries don't. Look, it's not in the Philippines that Duterte used to behead drug barons.
Oh yeah.
Just behead. They don't waste time.
Like Saudi Arabia.
That's why I say in these countries they don't. It's not Nigeria. We are the.
And have you heard this? The Punch, as a newspaper, as a tabloid in Nigeria, is 50 years old. So we share.
Oh come on, we share the joy.
Yeah.
Because of course.
50 years. Unbroken.
That's quite a feat. How long was Daily Times? Okay, well, they're still on
Daily
the.
Times 1920 whatever.
Saturday Malakija.
When Adam Day class 1.
Yes, now. Yeah. Yes, now. I wish there could be a title for Iwe Irohin Fun.
Okay.
Egbati.
Iwe Irohin.
Yeah, there should have been. These papers shouldn't just be let to go. I mean, we've had a lot of them. NST Kohli's paper what is it Lagos Standard or?
I've forgotten.
I can't remember now.
The first Nigerian editor, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
NST Sisa Ikoli. Yes, yeah. Ikoli. NST Ikoli. Kito Yajasa.
Ikoli was from today's Rivers?
Bayelsa.
Okay.
It was a German. Proper German. Ikoli means chain.
Okay.
Equally. Back in the days, if you had chains, the idea was that you were wealthy enough to be a slave merchant. The chains with which they kept, they chained. So it was a symbol of wealth. It was a distinguishing whatever. It meant wealth. So
yeah, okay.
Ernest equally, yeah.
All right. Let's move to the
except if in his own part of the Ijaw dialect, it wasn't equally, was something else that sometimes a word could have many more meanings. But as far as I know, equally means chains.
Okay. All right. Let's unchain the newspaper. The next
Definitely,
paper.
please.
Vanguard is here. Ondo election. Ondo election. Money main attraction as voters fear their votes may not count.
Aha.
They opt for highest bidder.
Why did I feel a flush of peace in my heart when you read that? Oh my God. It's like saying now we've come home to face the issues. We detest vote buying.
When you read things like this, you insist we are too long, too far away from home.
Yeah, but aren't you curious that for the first time we are not necessarily hearing fear of violence, fear of clashes.
Okay.
We are not hearing that this time. We are just hearing that the voter is worried that his vote may not count. The reality is that, like I told you, okay, the election is not necessarily one that's been marked by very vile rhetoric or something. It's like these guys are playing a gentleman's game, and so in the end, come take money, do the bidding, or just walk away. But again, this is not healthy. We detest, reject, okay, denunciate vote buying and any process that is not necessarily based on free, fair, and credible processes. In the end, it doesn't do anyone any good. Even if the governor will win or any other candidate is a shoe-in, let the ballot so speak. Yes, this is it. Let the ballot speak. Anything less than election is a coup. Because if money will stage a coup, let the ballot speak. That is what we stand for. Citizen, what does it take for politicians to allow people to vote in an election? What does it take? How is it that politicians are the ones who don't believe in democracy? They will say affirmative primary, whatever that means. They are the ones who you remember how Governor Locke had that to emerge? They said they were doing direct primaries. Some of the candidates couldn't even vote for themselves.
Okay.
The aspirants, Jimoh Ibrahim, a lot of them, they were waiting for the election day for the ballot to arrive. They had that.
Those who dreamt of the words theatrics and what is the other one? Theatrics and as the ways of the politician.
Frankly, they were waiting. Then about 16 of them went to Abuja, met Ganduje. They were angry. They said the president must be. They calmed them down. Because this is, in the face of raw politics, who wants to rock the boat?
Okay.
But see how. Oh, come on.
All right, please consider this next story in the Vanguard.
Citizen, sorry for a fact. This is not politics, so. Because even politics deserves some honor. Politics, as bad as it deserves some level of honor. The way Nigeria does it, we have to invent another name for it because we need to honor politics. This kind of politics.
When von Bismarck said politics is not an exact science, you knew what
he had not seen the world to this extent. If he had been in Nigeria, he would have invented something else for us. This can be politics now. Goodness.
Okay. This one, NJC sacks high-ranking judges over age falsification, suspends 2 others.
It's a necessary thing, but this isn't exactly the solution to the problem with the judiciary. It may be a good step in a good direction, but a lot more still needs to be done. First of all, the candidates you even approved to promote to sensitive places, to the higher courts matters. I think that in an age like this, we need to get people, judges who believe in judicial activism, so that they can be progressive, yes, in their rulings. But we have judges who today they have not investigated those people who gave issues, who gave orders for Rivers State. Imagine times where one court has given a judgment, a court of coordinated jurisdiction will give a counter judgment. When Governor Oti was announced to be governor of Abia State, some funny court in Kano, in Kaduna was really.
Kai, you think you are watching a poorly
So those are the real issues to deal with.
Film.
Yes, those are the real issues to deal with. It's not. I commend her, but there are bigger, deeper issues. Please.
Okay. Hear this one. Police nab parade suspected killers of Enugu market leader.
Okay. Well, we've also said that parading people.
Nab them is big news for me.
Yes, parading suspects isn't necessarily.
Yeah.
Yes, but so get your case tight, get your case properly done, and then head to court and prosecute. For the record, I will say this: the missing link in one missing link in criminal justice administration in Nigeria is what the Americans do so well. When a suspect is taken to court or is even arrested, first of all, there should be a formal indictment, so that the person could even do plea bargain and say, okay, of a truth. So you don't go to court to waste the judge's time. The one in Nigeria where you arrest somebody, they're not looking for evidence to prosecute the person. Look at a prominent cleric in this country was fired on by assassins. He was the one that gave police money, 55 million or so, to invest, to go after he said the first police team he gave money to was not serious. He had to pay another. Why should the citizen be the one doing that?
Ew.
Till they were able to finally arrest them. But 1 year later, these people have not even been convicted. So you wonder sometimes if everything, a pot of soup that does not ever get done, is it worth the money?
Or the fire?
When will the soup get done? No answer. We are not certain.
All right.
Does that cure hunger?
Hear this one. You hate criticism, grab land for friends. Adeyanju fires back at Wike.
I don't want to. This looks like two fighting. Even if the claim.
Fight.
Sir, two fighting. Now, so we take them for primary and secondary school.
Rough.
Yeah, rough. But the reality, I mean, taking on Wike, it's fine if he has the energy and the strength to do that. But not to say that what he's saying may not be true.
Lucky.
Yeah. Even if it is not to say that what he's saying may not be true. But, yeah, so.
All right. I have other one. Wike's aid to Atiku. You are not destined to be president.
There are some jibes that hurt men. If you know what I mean. There are some jibes that hurt men.
Sorry, 25 minutes past 7.
Yes, there are some jibes that hurt men. For example, especially for those who were really eager to lead Nigeria. You have the likes of Pawolowo, you have the likes of Atiku Abubakar today. So whenever they are taunted with those things, I'm sure that they should either heal and just let it go, or it could really hurt. So they feel this is the only way to get back. But that's like a personal jibe. If somebody raises issues, address the issues. Don't go personal. Don't become cheeky and be clever by half, or hide behind the cloak of some sentiment and attend to the issues. Raise the issues. Deal with the issues that have been raised. Even if I didn't want to speak about what Dejadeyanju said, the reality is he raised something fundamental that anybody should be able to investigate and address. They are criminal. If you accuse a minister of grabbing land, that's a criminal accusation.
Yeah,
that must be proven. So this thing should be swept under the carpet. But in the case of abusing Atiku, not accusing him, abusing him of saying president, I mean, come on.
All right. Let's move to the Daily Post. The Daily Post is here. Ondo decides the day.
Yes, so
for Ondo State.
D-Day. but not the deed of 1944. This is the deed of 2024. Yeah, so but it, like I said, an election in which there's no fear of violence, there's no fear of, clearly this matter has been decided. Fear as voters troop to the polls in Anambra, police won against violence, but in this case, the whole thing has been.
Yeah, an election should be a party thing, it's a national event.
Yeah, so.
Yeah.
Sportsmanship and so on. But this seems to be a concluded matter, or appears to be.
Okay. This one, Supreme Court dismisses suit by 19 states challenging constitutionality of EFCC, ICPC, and NFIU.
Could you take it again?
Supreme Court dismisses suit by 19 states challenging constitutionality of EFCC, ICPC, and NFIU. What in trouble is?
From reserving judgment to dismiss it on what I mean, I would like to. It would be great to get a copy of the judgment.
The listener is asked to
get a copy of
read the details before you.
So it makes me happy.
Issues or raise issues.
Let me say that for a fact, it makes me happy that the EFC is not scrapped. Okay, I'm happy to hear that actually. Yes, but as one who has read the merit of the case in question, I would like to I'd like to see the legal planks on which the Supreme Court based its hung its judgment. I really would like to see it. Maybe to enlighten me further.
All right. Hear this. OT commiserates with Nigerian army over killing of 3 soldiers by gunmen.
Oh dear.
Remember the story now?
I know they killed it and then threatened his own government.
Yeah.
I don't know where they wanted to go with that, but it's yes. But you see, Nigerian soldiers are Nigerians. They are people, they are brothers, they are fathers, they are uncles, nephews. They are everything. And the fact that you're not in the army doesn't make you any less a Nigerian. So this attempt to see the army as the enemy by no less any other person than civilians is not a good thing.
Okay.
Regardless of what the remote or you see, there was a time people used to be afraid to even touch a policeman because they knew the repercussion.
All right.
But today now soldiers are fair game. Everybody, sometimes even in public transport, you see how people talk down on soldiers and policemen, and you wonder whether this country still has some honor left.
All right, take your time again from us, 7:30, and you're listening to newspaper headliners from the Voice of the People Radio, 90.3 FM on the dial. Daily Post, the newspaper, the next newspaper. Hear this one. Nigeria's crude oil production will exceed 2 million barrels per day by December. Tompolo. Yeah. By December 2024.
Tompolo is not giving us the forecast.
But that's the headline. You don't like it, or?
When will Nigeria become a state? When will Nigeria become Nigeria? I hope that day comes soonest.
Okay. Cross River PDP suspends state chairman.
By a faction, not by the party itself. I hope tomorrow we won't wake up to hear that one faction has denounced the suspension. Politics is tiring. Politics, you see, in every country of the world, politics ideally offers the best civilization of that society. Because politics, people say in America this, in America that, all those are policies put forth by politicians. It's all politics. You go to Dubai, you see the policies, you see every society that advances rises on the wings of its politics. It is the reason John Maxwell said everything rises and falls on leadership. Right. So for our politics to be this low and so this rudimentary, just tells you that it is not capable of civilization. It can't push far.
All right. One last story from the Daily Post before I pass over. Ondo election. Despite his shortcomings, Ayedatiwa will return as governor, Pastor Giwa.
You have... is that a prophecy or an affirmation by the pastor?
Not prophecy.
It may be an affirmation.
No. He does not work with the INEC. It's a prophecy.
But for me, look, the matter is, I'm glad that we are not in Ondo State. And and we are not... But the reality is that this election is a foregone conclusion.
Okay.
Without telling you who is going to win. But I can tell you it's a foregone conclusion. Come on.
Okay. I have the next paper. The Nation leads with the same Ondo. Ondo, Tinubu calls for free poll as voters elect governor.
So they're going to get a new governor. You know, these obstacle elections have a way of isolating issues, have a way of standing out by themselves, and the whole nation cannot put its what's it called, this spotlight on it. Hopefully, people go out and cast their ballot and their ballots count.
Okay. NJC, National Judicial Council, that is, hammers Rivers Anambra judges over alleged misconduct.
Exactly. Which is the way to go.
Oh, yeah.
Yes, which is the way to go. Because if you don't do that, you would have wound up blessing the mess. The fact is, if you don't punish rebellion, if you don't punish wrongdoing, it metastasizes, it expands, it grows, it gets more converts and disciples.
Yeah.
So this looks like something coming a little too late in the day. Let's hope that we widen the net. There have been in the past 2 years alone, there have been too many judgments and rulings of courts that have flown in the face of justice. So don't isolate one or two. There should be in fact, if there was a holistic overall, I don't know how many people on the bench will keep their seats.
Yeah.
All sorts of phony judgments, all sorts of very funny and phony judgments that have been given.
Yeah. Let me quickly
deprive the right of their own right.
Let me quickly add this. Supreme Court rejects Kogi, 18 others bid to void EFCC ICPC.
That's what, we took it earlier, and I was wondering. I said, look, I'm happy that those bodies were not scrapped but I'm wondering what's the basis on which the Supreme Court gave this judgment.
Yeah.
Yeah. For me it's a bittersweet, because like I'll say it again, for the opportune time, I am happy those bodies were not scrapped. Okay. But on what basis did the Supreme Court deliver this judgment?
That's why
it is plain.
That's why you and I need a copy of the paper to sort the story before we raise any doubts or more queries. Okay, hear this one. Miss Universe. Nigerian South Africans squabble as contestant quits. I thought I saw this story somewhere. I was not too sure.
So this whole brouhaha over the right of a citizen to contest or not to contest, to be or not to be, to assert or not to assert.
Is she Nigerian South African?
This is the question. It's the big question of the day. Okay. But we believe she was eminently qualified to have taken part in the South African contest, except that her name became the issue that they couldn't swallow.
Yeah.
But come on, in 2024. But again, whether Nigeria has the moral right to assert themselves in that way in another man's country, apart from she being a citizen, that is on the basis of her name. Because we do the same thing here in our politics. But it just goes to show now that they are not any better per se. So this is the fact. We can right the wrong by being better in our own home soil to our own people too.
Okay. This is an interesting story. This next one. Cyril, share them with me. Police reject 174 million naira bribe from internet fraudster in Lagos.
What a great thing that they've done there.
That police.
They go deeper life, maybe.
I know. I doesn't know.
Is it possible? And I commend him for it.
Yeah.
I commend him for it.
Yeah, but let's get to know who the internet fraudster is. Crazy times we live in. All right. From the nation, we go to this day. Of course, Falana, this day, Falana got it wrong on FCT houses for judges, says Wike's aide.
He did not get it wrong. He did not.
No, I'm talking about the headline.
I know he did not get it wrong. It is government that is getting it very, very wrong. But I mean, because the way they've gone about it, this whole thing, you are clearly inducing these people. That's what it is. You are clearly inducing them. You are clearly inducing them.
Okay.
There is a Ministry of Justice. There's the NJC. You are inducing them. Whether it was FEC approved or not, is an inducement.
I have this one. NNPC oil marketers import 1.5 million tons of petrol in 42 days, putting pressures on Naira.
Yes, but they said that when they begin to buy it all up locally, it will reduce the pressure. So let's wait for that time. Okay. Because ostensibly, obviously, there's little we can do about it right now.
All right. Have you heard this? President Tinubu tasks universities on cutting-edge research to aid development.
Where will they do that from? Where is the money? ASU is about to go on strike. The president inaugurated the Research and Development Council. Was it a very early this year also? Somebody was so eager, I couldn't hear the last of it. I told him these things are just statements. It will not go anywhere. And from the day they made the statement, the pronouncement till now, nothing has come of it. As I speak to UCH, is in darkness. It's in pitch darkness.
Okay.
And this is supposed to be...
used to be the beacon.
And ought to be the frontline medical research tertiary.
Globally.
Well, now you've said globally. They're in pitch darkness because they can't pay their... Who even advised us? Why? 1 year after, UCH is still on national grid.
Okay.
What kind of cutting-edge research is that? There are some things that should not be. If you can spare the thought to buy aircraft and buy... There are certain things that should not be secondary.
Yeah.
I don't understand it. They told patients to look for alternative source of energy. I imagine some of them are buying a lighted candles in the hospital. Candle.
Oh,
candle. 2024 UCH.
21st century.
Kerosene lamp. Doctors are not using phone torchlight.
Be like say they watch film.
Hey.
We then take candle record. Okay, hear this. Abia local government poll. Decimation of a ruling party.
Decimation of waiting.
Of a ruling party.
That is the writer's opinion. The ruling party is not decimated. The governor is popular. He enjoys acceptance.
But Labour lost the election in Abia.
Do you believe it?
Do I believe? I don't work.
Wait, in Rivers State, the governor is a PDP governor. You say PDP lost the local government election. The APP swept the polls.
I beg. I'm dealing with the headline.
I know. I'm just telling you. In Abia, it was ZLP. The man, Abia and Rivers State are close. Now boundary. So okay, yeah. They are conurbated. Now the man borrowed a page from Seminalai's playbook, and the ZLP became the pony, the horse that was used to win the elections. Since LP was misbehaving, they used ZLP. So to say that the ruling party lost, the governor won, the party lost. And okay, I can agree with that.
Okay. Ministerial reshuffle. Tinubu needs to compensate Cross River.
because he removed John Owaneno. He didn't get the replacement from Akwa Ibom, right? Or from Cross River. No, but the minister has been scrapped. So, if that's the case, because actually the constitution says there must be a minister from every state of the federation.
Yeah.
It's in the constitution, I think chapter 2, section 14 or so, talks about it. The Federal Character Balancing Act. Yes, you must get people from every state to be a minister.
Yeah, Cyril, let's try The Guardian as the last but not least paper here. Leads with Tinubu leads Shetima and others to burial of late Chief of Army Staff Lagbaja.
It's a pain. Seeing the sheer outpouring of joy and emotion. And I'm glad that this president has set a good example, because when the former Chief of Army Staff, Ibrahim Atahiru, died, Buhari refused bluntly to attend the funeral. In Abuja, Gong, he refused to go, which for me was a shame and an embarrassment to his presidency.
All right.
So, but that President Tinubu has attended, it has now shown that leaders must lead by example. Okay. And that leadership requires empathy and fellow feeling, and not to ask whether which part of the law demands that he must attend his funeral.
Yeah.
Shame on such leaders.
Former President Obasanjo is in the news. There must be consequences for bad act to end corruption, Obasanjo.
He is right. You don't think he's right?
I'm sharing the headline.
I caught you there with one below the.
You remember the statement, physician, heal thyself.
Chief Obasanjo. I salute your guts, sir.
Okay. All right. Blame it. Hear this one. Might sound funny, but it's real. Blame it on the rain. Eguavon attributes Eagles' cheetahs draw to heavy downpour.
Or maybe because we played away from home. But still, we should have won.
Yeah.
We should have won. Some of us are frankly a bit worried of local coaches, but they pulled it back. Of course, I just feel that somehow, because we had already qualified, the boys didn't probably bring their A game to the party. So
yeah,
that's what I really think.
I dare say that would be the last but not least story we are dealing with this morning. Okay, the stories are in. You have heard them. Let's turn over the microphone to you, the listener. If you desire to react to any story or stories we shared, please, this is the time. Let's go there. 0700 903 903 903. That's the line on offer. Let's hear how you react to this story or stories we shared. Okay, I have a first reaction from a listener here. Good morning to you.
Yeah, good morning.
Yes, sir. Your name, where are you calling from?
This is Nemeka from Ejibo, please.
Nemeka, welcome. 60 seconds, beginning now.
All right, then. Morning to my brother. Still, morning.
Very good morning to you, sir.
Please, Mr. Jose, this Edo election, everybody is commenting and talking everything.
Ondo, you mean Ondo?
So, Oga, now Ondo election. I
know that's what I'm saying. Ondo election, not Edo.
No, be Ondo. You are saying Edo. That's
Ondo.
That's better. Yeah.
I said the way they are deploying security there, the way they are deploying security, ask them question. They are congratulating American people for a peaceful election. And you are doing this to yourself here. And tomorrow you will be expecting people to respect you. Look at the way the election is turning upside down. This one accusing this one accusing, they abandon this one,
Nemeka, the election is today. So let's wait. Thank you.
But what I'm trying to say this morning is this: we cannot be disgracing ourselves, expecting respect from people. That's what I want to contribute.
All right,
God bless everybody.
Bless you too. Okay. Take your turn. 0700 903 903 903. Which story or stories caught your fancy? How do you react to it or to them? Hello, good morning. Good morning, welcome.
Good morning. Good morning.
Morning to you, sir.
Yeah. I greet you, sir.
Yes, I want to comment on the issue of Atiku not being destined to be president. I think that is irony. It's an aberration because
it is an aid to Wike who said so.
Yes, an aid to Wike, yes, because Abraham Lincoln in America contested 5 times before the election, and one of the best American presidents ever produced. So, in fact, we are black, we are not resilient, we are not committed. The man that discovered electricity, I think now like 9 times. So we black are sometimes satisfied for 4 marry 1 year, maybe there's no issue, put the woman away. So we are too close to surrender that to a. It's not good. The issue of proposing that the crude from the quick will increase to 2 million barrels per day. Believe me, because Petrol is the one that control the creek, control the navy, control the army, control everyone. So
thank
he's telling you something.
Thank you, gentlemen. Yeah. Okay, take advantage now. The line is free. 0700 903 903 903. Which paper, which story or stories caught your fancy? Hello, good morning to you.
Good morning, citizens.
I greet you.
I'm calling from Ikeja.
Obi, welcome.
Yeah, that's why the president gave on Ondo for people to be, to be civil and conduct themselves well.
No. Did I get you right?
So the president advised people to be careful during the election in Ondo. That they should be civil, kind of, from the advice he gave on Ondo election. I don't know, you read something about that. Yeah. But I'm saying that is he saying that they should not snatch, grab, and run away with it? Is that what he's trying to say? No?
Buy the paper, read the story before you pass any judgment, moral or otherwise. Thank you. All right. The line is free now. 0700 903 903 903. I've shared the stories in the papers with you, or we have shared the stories with you. Which one or which ones would you like to react to? You have 60 seconds to do so in. Hello, good morning to you.
Good morning, Mr. Jones.
Yes, sir, I greet you.
Yes, the Article 8 does not know history. You see why
Wike aid.
Now Wike aid.
I don't sorry. Yes, Wike's aid does not know history. If Atiku did not
maybe
play
you
the good
studied
boy,
geography. Go on.
if Atiku did not play the good boy during Obasanjo's second term, when Obasanjo knelt down to allow him to go for second term, will he be telling him this? All the governors queued up behind Atiku. And Atiku believed that after Obasanjo, he will not go, coming from the north. Immediately, Obasanjo was allowed to go the second term. He went after Atiku, and the rest is history. You can see why it is not good to be a pacifist. That's the truth now. Look at what they're telling him now. This man had it on a platter of gold. He didn't remember that Obasanjo knelt down to beg him. He didn't remember that one. He didn't. It's so sad. Seriously. Very, very sad.
Thank you. Okay. We seem to have a call from outside of here. Hello, good morning to you. Hello, are you there? Okay. 0700 903 903 903. Which paper or papers caught your fancy? How do you react to it? To you.
Hello, good morning.
I greet you.
George.
Yeah.
I'm Mr. Abaku.
Morning to you, sir.
My name is Mayor from First Time.
Okay.
All right.
Yeah,
Well,
concerning what UK's replied article, there is an adage from my place. Somebody told his age mate that whatever he does, where God has taken him to, the man was telling his age mate, whatever he does in this particular life, even that his age mate, even if they put him in a double barrel and push out, that he will never see his back. So, my name is Miriam. I'm calling from First Tax. Like I said, Atiku in this earth that we are now, we can never see Atiku's back, whatever he does. I'm very, very sure that Wike cannot contest primaries in 2027 and even after, and yes, because he has lost relevance. Atiku, even if Atiku may not be president again, but there is a wide margin as 7 and 8 between Atiku, where what Wike has achieved.
Thank you, Mayor. 60 seconds are up. Thank you.
All right.
Thank you. Yeah. All right. Take advantage. We have room for one last call, not least call. Which story or stories caught your fancy? How would you want to react to it or to them? You have 60 seconds to do so in. Remove this noise now. Remove this noise. Remove this noise. Remove this noise, please.
Good morning, sir.
Good morning.
My name is Adolphus from Ejibo.
Adolphus, you are on air. Let's go.
Yes, the issue of Wike's aid to Atiku is correct because Atiku is now a something-year-old. In 2037, he'll be talking almost 90 years. What chance have they got? So, Wike's aid is very, very correct. Thank you.
Thank you. We pack it on all in here, but not before thanking Cyril for another A job.
It's a monumental pleasure, Citizen Jones.
Thank you. Thank you. All right, folks. Next Saturday, as the white man would say, today week we are here to share more stories in the papers. But I let me say finally to the Punch, 50 years on, we thank God you're still giving a punch.
Yeah.
Giving it a punch.
Yeah.
All right then. Our next program is 5 minutes away. Please stick around.
From the views on the street,
we go to bed empty hunger,
to the blaring horns of a hustling city, the loudest voices of the common man got a medium to be heard.
This particular administration, they were coming unprepared.
It's not a bad thing to renovate the president's lawn.
Through top-notch programming, unbiased reportage of news, sports, business, entertainment, and cultural documentaries, Voice of the People 90.3 FM became a symbol for 21st century media. And now, a new baby is born. Voice of the People Television, VOP TV, youthful, full of vigor and pressure for excellence in the continent's media space, exposing the wrongs, applauding the rights, dissecting the news without fear or favor, through factual and accurate stories and contents.
Corruption kills 3 things and makes a society.
Representing the interests of the people and giving them a voice. Voice of the People TV is here to stay towards building a fair society. VOP TV, Voice of the People Television, truly a voice for the people.
Are you aware that Iruka Online Limited installed and designed a 100,000 capacity church building? Oh yeah, we are the sole distributors of global leading brands all over the world, such as Wafday Line Array, speakers and digital amplifiers, Preseno's digital mixers and studio equipment, Coswell workstations and keyboards, Fender Guitars, Mapex Drums, Ashdown Bass Combos, just to mention but a few. We offer flexible payment plan handled by our financial department with 24/7 customer care support system. You can visit our website on www.iruka.com to avoid buying fake products. You can also visit our showroom at number 36, Lagos International Airport Road, beside Golden Tulip Hotel. Iruka, never settle for less.
Baby girl, tell me what you want.
It's Laugh Matas with Big Adink and Friends, Les Giddy, the third coming. Featuring The Band, Omo Baba, Remini Salaga, Gandoki, Queen Salawa Benny, Bash, T Famous, Agororo, Dr. Smile, The Countryman, Forever, Aristos Band, Seriki Daria, D1, Taoma, Babalaria, Madiba of Comedy, ATM, Short Family, ATM 47, DJ Wiki, and many more. Date, 17th November 2024. Venue, Balmoral Convention Center, Federal Palace Hotel, VI. Time, 4 p.m. Red Carpet. Show starts, 5 p.m. Tickets, regular 7K, VIP 20K, table of 8, gold 1.5 million, platinum 3 million. Tickets available at Ileño by Pods, GRA Ikeja, or Father Boy, Surulere, Prince Ebano Supermarkets, Lekki, online at ariatickets.com, grandtickets.ng, laughmatas.ng. Brought to you by Mortina, Goldberg, Ace Roots, Goldberg Black, supported by Parallax Bank, Enclave Green Homes, FIRS, and the Lagos State Government. Love Matas, the third coming. Oh my loud God. Media partner.
Voice of the People Radio.
A radio station is supposed to inform.
Recently, that people are getting to know about themselves, about their physique. That is women, black women.
Educate.
So what you need to do now is go to www.
And also entertain you.
Tractor systems are offline.
Number one for today's hits and all-time favorites.
This is Voice of the People. But wait a minute. When it's time to speak your mind, where do you go? Don't go too far. Here at Voice of the People Radio, VOP 90.3 FM, we give you a voice.
Led to serious investigations to check.
Serious. With Nigerian
politicians, I'm coming.
Trust.
The thing is, no. It's not about trust. It's about facts.
Okay.
The allegations he made, I read them. In fact, one, he said that this woman is an indigenous of Ondo State.
It can be a Togolese.
Lived, grew up, everything in Ondo State. Which willingly may leave one with the question, why didn't we look for somebody who should be ideally neutral?
Okay, sir, let me help this.
In Edo State, we had a wreck who was happy to say he was the cousin of Nyesom Wike.
A Nigerian.
Who had been, Dr.
A Nigerian. You know why I'm saying all this? Sorry for the interjection, sorry. Because you've had reasons to be on air for some time, so let me stay up with your breath. Look, I said when Citizen Jones alluded to not going to war. I know my students are listening, and I will always project the right image. But you ask something rather poignant when you ask what has changed. I mean, the rhetorics. Over 30,000 policemen have been deployed from special intervention units, from counterterrorism, from the mobile force, and on for an election. You wonder what is going on. Now, what makes Ondo State special is this. An average off-cycle election from the 8 states we have, in Nigeria, 8 states that actually don't do it in the regular election season. Ondo is one of them as today. Dojo not too long ago, Bayelsa, Kogi, Imo, Anambra, and the like. Ondo State came, because we must give historical perspective to this. Ondo State came about this in 2009 when an appeal court upheld the tribunal verdict that Agagu, who won a second term in February 2007, actually did not win. And by virtue of that judgment, gave power to Mimiko, Dr. Olusegun Mimiko of the Labour Party. Hence, Ondo State now joined the fray of states that go for off-cycle elections. As I said,
Mimiko, Zenith Labour Party.
No,
Labour Party years. Then. Later years became Zenith Labour Party because of their, So, Mimiko, of course, started that. And since then, we've had close to 4 or 5 governors in this republic, 4th republic. What makes Ondo even more significant is that it's an oil-producing state. And since we are a mono, what do you call now? A product. Economy. We can't, of course, we always mouth it that we are diversifying. Forever we diversify, but we don't see anything come out from it. It also takes added significance that Ondo State must be watched. But unlike in other same climb, I know you want to make a rebuttal now, where when elections happen, there is disruption.
My country is sane.
To you. In other places, elections,
my country is sane.
Okay, according to your gospel, according to Sidney Jones. In other places, there is non-disruption of daily activities when elections are on,
Moses,
but not in Nigeria.
You are sane, I am sane, Cyril is sane.
We are sane individually, but collectively and as a nation, sometimes with this that is going, this is a clear metaphor. Why should you have over 30,000 policemen? One reason people, at the end of the day now, we may hear that maybe just 10% of Ondo electorate voted. Okay, over 2 something million are actually accredited by INEC. They can vote, but only 1.7 would vote because some didn't go out there to collect their PVC. And at the end of the day, when we get to hear how many people actually went to cast their vote, we get to hear some very uninspiring numbers. And this is sometimes traceable to the fact that there is over-militarization.
Let us wait for the outcome.
We can almost tell our elections, they are predictable. In the case of Otunji Egbeto, the sitting IG will tell you that there is no movement from 6 a.m. to 6 p.m. The news item, when our elections come up, especially at this staggered level, is always very predictable. So you can almost tell that when people come out to vote, they may not be in their numbers. One reason, as I've said, is this over-militarization. Why would you make an election look and see what is going on? It's scary, and it's not good at all.
No. Moses, let me...
Help me, Abi.
No, you are the one who said it.
One thing is listening to two of the candidates. Go on.
Yeah, but my intervention would be this. In Nigeria, people were telling formally that, this was like 3-4 years ago, that to win a governorship election will cost like 6 billion. This is talking politics on the street. Sure. We're not talking English.
Real politics.
Yeah, real politics. We're not talking INEC code or anything. Okay. INEC rules. Government is, and that is to factor in what you need to buy the votes, my brother. So buy votes now. They win elections.
Now, since you will not caution you that you are inciting war. Why we don't buy votes in Nigeria? We vote. We cast our vote and we win. Yes.
I can say. You and I can
hold on. What Elon Musk did at the last election?
Oh, you're a million. What was that?
What would you call it?
I don't understand what you mean about Elon Musk.
Okay. Let's agree you don't know. So
that on election day, somebody holds a stack of money and goes from town to town.
He doesn't have the money alone.
The bofun it takes to vote and take a bag of rice. Vote and take Our politics is unique, I hope you know. And it has its own tone and tenor.
Negatively unique.
Yes. Now, I said at the beginning, what have we done differently? Politicians have a way of, when you're in the opposition, you say the right things. When you're in government, you go tongue in cheek. So it is the reason I said that sitting here, I cannot hold brief for any of them. But across those local government areas, about 17 of them.
18.
No, so there were 18.
No. So, but I think 1 or 2 have chickened out.
No, as in, you meant maybe 18 candidates, but
yes,
some of them
for 17 local government areas. Yes, and so, but about 2 or 3 of them have stepped down as of yesterday for Governor Ida Tiwa. Mm-hmm. It is, as you and I are talking here now, you may see in another hour that 2 or 3 more, or maybe not, even up to 5 have. I won't say chicken.
That was why I said our election cycle so predictable.
But the point is that I agree with you, the same patterns and same things, but they don't ever ultimately lead to new and refreshing outcomes. Why is it the case? It is the case because if you do the same things, you're going to get the same results. You don't expect to plant yam and reap.
But here we try to expect something different.
Now, so talking of new things to be done, right? And there's a whole list of them. Number 1, for example, what can we do to check this distance between the voter and the person is voting for? That as at like yesterday or even as at this morning, we're not talking party programs. What separates Agbola Ajayi from Oloyinka Tiwa? What separates him from the Labour Party candidate? What separates him from the
Labour Party? Do they even have any candidate?
They have a candidate. I can't pick his number.
Are you sure? Because about some 2 hours ago, the court voided.
No. The court has said the candidate must stand.
Oh, fine.
Dr. Adebayo, beware, because you may hear that a court. Didn't we hear that a court disqualified, what's his name? Akpakomiza in Edo.
Look.
That was in the
our court and another thing entirely.
Within hours, we had that another court. So this is the problem. You can't take your cause for too seriously.
See, my trouble is the suspicion raised by the PDP candidate.
I was going there now.
You know, because I take this quote now, relevant. The quote credited to Mahatma Gandhi. He said, the moment there is suspicion about a person's motives, everything he does becomes tainted.
But it depends on who is also suspecting.
No, Dr. Adebayo, don't
does that.
You cannot have a football match between Nigeria and Ghana, right?
By the way, Ghana did not qualify for.
Leave them first. And then you bring, even in world football, when two African countries are playing, they get a referee from Asia or Europe. It's not an operating procedure. How do you go to Edo State and take a ref from Ondo and take a ref from Ondo, and somebody has come to say this woman is partisan and there's evidence?
Is Agbola Ajayi not an Ondo?
Does it matter?
Is he not from Ondo State?
Does it matter?
He's from Ondo State now.
Hold on, gentlemen. Except that an election is quite unlike a football
match. So that analogy may be what?
But my trouble here is, if an election goes well, favors a critic, then democracy is great.
Jones, you know what happened? Obaseki exemplified what Jones just said now. At the point, a day before his second term election, when he actually won, he criticized INEC to the highest heavens. Oh, they were going to rig, they brought the rigging machine and all manner of shenanigans. They were going to, unleash on election. When he won the election the following day, just between 24 hours interregnum, he was the one praising INEC to the highest heavens. And you wonder, these people are without principles. That's why when any one of them talk,
they say they are masters of theatrics.
No, please. Again, I'm not an apologist for Mr. Obaseki.
You are sounding like one.
But I've never responded yet.
You are sounding like one.
But I've never responded yet.
Okay, go ahead.
Okay, good. I remember that because we covered that. I watched that election on TV live. It was Governors Wike, Makinde, and I think your Tom all relocated to
Edo State,
to put pressure to solidarize with him. Then something else happened. Edo people voted and beseeched INEC and said, our vote must count. It was like what they did in Katsina when the Talakwa voted and took their Okada to INEC office and said, if you want to count, all of them turned on their machine lights in the night and said, you must count the vote here. People's power always prevails if people know how to use the power. It is the reason I said that when you bring money into the process, people's power weakens and dies.
Money how? Vote buying, as you guys claim, which I believe doesn't exist.
And putting an indigene of the state as a wreck further doesn't help the process.
No, serious. I don't know. I'm not a lawyer, so I don't want to claim to be one here. I don't know what the law says.
If we rely on laws all the time, are we going to make progress?
No, but the laws are...
We are a law-abiding country.
Does the law say if you must be from Akwa Ibom to be wrecked in Lagos?
Listen,
and the other way around?
You know what, Cyril?
That's beside the point.
No, it is.
The suspicion of no. I'm not even from Ondo State.
You sound like that.
It doesn't matter.
No, it's not that.
Listen. For me, this unnecessary, unmitigated, unforced error on the part of the PDP, it could have been APC anyway, because they are just two sides of a very bad coin. It's calling for the wreck. Suddenly, this is almost going to be a weapon in their hands again. Edo started it. And Nigeria's election cycle will always adopt certain... They don't really matter in this case. Look,
how do they not matter?
Listen, it's only a bad workman that blamed the tools.
Okay, hold on.
He's already giving possible excuses that maybe if he loses, then it was because the wreck didn't do a good job. It was partisan.
May I ask you this? He has made allegations that this woman has been meeting with the governor and his team.
Did he substantiate it? No, we can't just work with allegations now. Anyone can come out and say anything. Did this substantiate that? I have facts, I have evidence. It's a wired world where we cover virtually everything. What goes on in our bedroom and like that. He should have shown the world that these are reasons I don't trust this wreck, because she has met with the governor several times in this position.
You don't think that the things he said required investigation?
At what level? Without a fact, we don't work with allegations. Those are just mere emotions or sentiments.
So having said that, and looking at the weight it could bring on the electoral process, you don't think police should invite him? So, Mr. Man, come. You've said this and deterministic. Come and tell us how you got to know what you say.
Has he done that?
Have they called him?
Has he done that?
Have they called him?
And you know why some things are like ignored? Because over time we've cried wolf again and again, only for us to want to help the boy crying wolf. Nothing can be seen. Nobody's actually after the boy. The police or whoever is in charge now, they will always ignore this. Okay, now even part of Ondo State election today, 6,000 NCR or civil defense officials will be there.
Dr.
And you keep wondering what's going on here. Yes.
Why don't you normally have a police commissioner that is an individual of the state as police commissioner?
Until we restructure our police. Until we restructure our police. No.
All right, gentlemen. Hold on. Let me announce the time. 20 minutes past 8. That's for your time check.
So as you've asked,
you are listening to VOP 90.3 on the FM dial, and we're looking at Ondo ahead of the election. The election today, the election is as we speak. The process is on. A candidate is calling for the removal of the REC. The news has not come that the REC has been removed.
And that was just, as I've said, being afraid of your own shadows. Look, if you've done well, I am a firm believer in the fact that elections or results in Nigeria, to a reasonable extent, reflect how we voted. Lagos last year was a classic example, and I can even go back to 1993 when Abiola did almost impossible, beat Tofa in his backyard. Obi won in Lagos, which was almost unthinkable. Tinubu won in Benue State. Of course. If you are leading to people's power at that point, then let us also be hopeful and optimistic that right now people's power will count.
Basing your hope on what?
On the fact that our elections count. I maintain that it counts. See, let me say something. When we have this myopic view or this very parochial angle to things, we only see it from our ward angle. Oh, because something happened in my ward. Wards come together to form polling units. How many wards have you visited in your polling unit to know whether what transpired in your ward happened there as well? We only sit down using our ward as the point of judgment, which is flawed. That's why when some of these people go to court, they have nothing. You can tell that almost every time now, the court will easily dismiss some petition because they lack weight. They are so paper-weighted that nobody wants to take them seriously. How would you base an election that has, like in Ondo State now, 3,933 polling units to just one ward? And because one ward didn't function properly, hence all of the state election, statewide, should go and should be nullified or should be declared null and void. Look, our elections, as I have said, we have this attitude, eternally attitudinal problem where it's a do or die to arise to become power. And that is why we have this mindset that when there is election, it sounds like warlike. What will 30-something thousand policemen be doing in Ondo State today? Why would there be 6,000 civil defense personnel there? And on. It gets scary because it's a case of if it's not me, then nobody else. That's exactly what luckily that's why it's not a saint. Because APC, PDP, you can't just trust any one of them. Over time, they disappoint Nigerians. But what we want from Nigerians is that we should maintain the right attitude that, look, if my candidate does not win, it should not end Nigeria or Ondo State. It shouldn't.
America is leading the way, and when we keep saying we are aping American-type democracy, it boggles the mind that what we copy beggars a lot of belief. President Biden has invited President-elect to the White House. Kamala Harris has congratulated him, and so on. The show goes on.
Jonathan started this. Even before Jonathan, the governor of Ekiti State then, what's his name now? The one that preceded Fayoshe, also did this. Look, we should encourage the fact that... Fire me, thanks, sir. We should encourage the fact that if I don't become the governor or president, like some people have shown desperation, that does not erase my impact in history. No, I will always refer to Benjamin Franklin, one of the fathers of America. He was never a president. He was never president of America. But today, his portrait dons the $100 bill, which is an eternal credit. I mean, how else do you immortalize someone? And also, when you speak or talk George Washington, you talk Thomas Jefferson, Thomas Paine.
Washington, like Dr. Nnamdi Azikiwe. The only two presidents that would never blame a previous man.
Fine.
For anything.
When you mention these names, you also mention Benjamin Franklin in that breath because He didn't need to be a president, but his impact on America still lingers as we speak today. So why must I become governor until I make impact in life? It's a desirable position, no doubt about that. But when we have this mindset, and you know what a leader can do, a leader has a way of speaking, and it becomes contagious. When you already suspect the wreck, inevitably you are making your followers in their thousands or even millions, now if that's the case, to think that something will go wrong when something may not actually go wrong. So let us temper this down. As he said, moderation in what do you call now? In emotions, as when you quoted Tom Paine now, is a virtue. Yeah. But moderation in principle is a vice. Let us moderate our expectation. If I don't occupy the office, I won't die. It will not make me any less a human being. It won't.
It is not right to have an election of 2 governorship candidates in the same state.
Former deputy governors, though. And
have a referee from the same state. I don't think it's proper. The right thing to do is to bring a neutral. You see, even if for appearance's sake,
Cyril, as an aside,
to be like Caesar's wife, who is above board.
Yeah, Cyril, I'm wondering if you remember the last time a Nigerian referee handled a match.
Well, that's another part of kettle official.
Charity begins at home now.
On our continent.
It's another pot of tea.
We don't do well here, so nobody will take us
but the point is, it just doesn't ring well. Especially because one of the major contenders has said, look, this woman is suspicious. And she's been holding meetings with the governor and his team. Anybody hearing that should be allowed. INEC should have even.
If you are sure of your candidacy, if you are sure of the electorate, why complain?
There are many people who have been sure of their candidacy in this country that didn't go anywhere. Okay.
Will you portray that with examples?
Yes.
Like MKO.
There are so many of them. Yes. MK Abiola Safadi.
Oh, really?
In fact, in recent history.
But let APC back off. Thank you.
That will not fly.
God bless you.
My students are listening. Ondo State is not of the southeast. Ondo State is a southwest state in Nigeria. And it's an oil-producing state, but it's a southwest state in Nigeria. So kids in your 100, that's not correct.
I wonder where that is coming from.
And please know that out of Ondo, they cut out Ekiti in 1996,
which also is southwest state.
Yes,
so we should
out of Old Cross River they cut out Akwa Ibom. Go on.
Yes. And out of Old Rivers,
out of Old Rivers
they cut out Bayelsa.
Out of Gongola they are divided into Taraba and Adamawa.
And out of Old the Imo they cut out
Abia. Out of
Anambra,
Old Sokoto
they cut out KB and Zamfara.
Out of Old Kano they cut out Jigawa.
And out of Old Kaduna they cut out Katsina.
Nigeria, we hail thee. Nigeria.
All right, let me take another caller, another listener. Good morning to you.
Good morning.
Yes, sir.
Citizen John.
I greet you.
Sir, good morning.
Morning to you, sir.
Good morning.
I greet you.
Yes. I listened to one of the radio stations. They did analysis of the Edo state election, and I was
not Edo. We are not talking Edo. Ondo.
Yes, Ondo state election. That's what I'm saying. And what the man said is that I don't want to mention the rest because I respect that newspaper editor. That's one of the newspapers that I so much have regard for. He said that actually the best candidate will not win. And the man said the best candidate is Agbola. But the factor that they will not allow it because they listen to both of them carefully and I like the man. So if we continue this trend, I don't want to pitch my tent with Dr. Aliba because we are trying to undermine democracy in the country. You cited the example of South Africa. How many security agents were sent to South Africa election to monitor South Africa election?
Because they didn't have to do that.
That's what I'm saying, but you say congratulations.
August 60 seconds. We got you first time. Yeah, thank you.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, the punchline, the best candidate will not win.
That is not true. That is not true.
Moses, that came from a listener.
It is not
Please.
True. Look, we have our biases, our sentiments, but truth is this. With the introduction of bimodal technology, it is custom made. You can't even vote. Listen,
are you new to Nigeria?
I am not, and I'm not sounding naive because you make it sound as though. Look, truth is this: when our candidates win, elsewhere,
Moses,
it is
Moses,
democracy at work.
No, gentlemen, no, we don't have to be quarrelous.
No,
here.
we are not.
Please.
We're not. When our candidates win, even in foreign lands, democracy is at work. Look, as I said before, if we adopt the mindset of an average South African, they know that their elections count, and they don't have to litigate unnecessarily and waste public funds and time.
Let me explain to you.
You are not explaining anything.
In 1979,
no, you're not.
Please allow him.
He's talking. I'm not disturbing him.
Please,
I'm not disturbing him.
Please,
let him. He's a man enough. He can say by himself.
Please,
don't fight for him.
Moses.
Talk by yourself. Talk by yourself.
In 79, on the eve of the elections, Obasanjo made a national broadcast and said the best candidate may not necessarily win. They were very sure that among Zeke, Shagari, Awolowo and Co, they knew that Awolowo
Waziri Ibrahim.
They were so certain.
Tunji Braithwaite.
Yes.
Tunji was not in 1979. It was in 83.
Braithwaite came
in 83.
Came in 83. But Obasanjo was so sure that Awolowo was not going to win the election.
Do you hear the name you are mentioning? Obasanjo.
He was very sure of it, that Awolowo was not going to win. It was, in fact, we later got to know that
imputation or
I don't know. Maybe a prophet had told him. In fact, we now know that as a 78, a prominent lawyer had consulted for the federal government and told them how the election was going to be determined at the courts eventually. The rest, as I say, is history. Now, you will find that the day our elections and electoral process become smooth will be the day members of the power elite and ruling class will break with the class and begin to look for your vote.
But today, it's a sorry case.
Till now, the argument is about our turn, my turn, because they know that the process is not the issue. It's about who.
So Karl Marx and Engels were very right when they talked about the class war.
Of course, there is a class war.
The class war here analogy does not really cut it. Truth is this: you don't use Obasanjo as an example when it comes to anything election. He said that in 79. Even in 93, he said, MKO is not your messiah. We know what happened afterwards. And the last elections, when results were being released, Obasanjo went out there calling for cancellation. Come on, Obasanjo is not an example.
We heard something from Babangida. We know those.
Yeah.
You remember?
Yeah. We know the people that will not win.
My fear is,
even if we don't know those that will win.
My fear is that you are quoting two undemocratic men. Let me use that word carefully now. IBB bungled what would have been Nigeria's finest moment when it comes to political issues in history. Obasanjo is never a paradigm to follow, not a model when it comes to election. You're not reminding me anything.
Let me remind you of
if
something.
Obasanjo will go out there and make such a reckless statement and install a Shagari that was not even thinking of presidency but Senate, it's unfortunate that we are still where we are.
Just hold on. Everywhere in the world, power is power. There is a reason they are called the power elite. People who have their way when they want to have their way. Power is power. It is
ruin the country.
No, hold on.
And ruin generations.
It is among men that we talk about theocracy, democracy, discracy, and so on. But among them, power is power.
I thought you said power belongs to the people.
The MKO that
you are dodging that. I thought you said power belongs to the people.
The MKO that you're talking about. I hope you know that at the time President Buhari was recognized was awarding GCF and say was the winner of the election. His daughter apologized to Buhari. In any way, her father might have hurt him.
I mean, it's personal. It's part of life. But life will happen. Life will happen. If a Saul will ever become a Paul,
you know the story.
If a Saul will ever become a Paul, then anything is possible in life.
You know the story.
I don't know. I read what you are saying. I don't understand what you're saying.
Okay, no problem.
No, I don't.
But it's fine. MK that Hafsat said, I apologize to you in any way. My father might have also hurt you. Now, so that's what I'm saying. At the height of men, power is power.
Mr. Anayo, good morning.
Brother Anayo. Let's go.
Okay. Please, you are giving Mr. Moses too much time to advertise APC. And if I may ask him, which election?
Where is that coming from, Anayo? Where is that coming from?
They're coming from Ondo election. I'm coming, and the
coming from you, right? It coming from you. Go on.
From me, that one of the candidates complained about the lake in Ondo, which is necessary. If you compare what happened in Edo State Edo State the day of the election, why would Ganduje take a private jet to the office of the day of the election? And he made mention, he's touching everywhere. He made mention of 2023 election concerning what they call concerning Obi and the others. Where in earth does technical breach took place on the day of presidential election? Let him answer that.
All right. Yeah, thank you.
And,
6 seconds are up. Yeah.
There was no glitch.
Emotions will not win on anything.
There was no glitch. It was a deliberate shutdown. It was no glitch.
But
it was deliberate.
You make it sound as though BVN didn't work throughout. For
It was
Senate, it
deliberate.
worked for the Senate, it worked for House of Rep.
Then when it came to presidential, the thing not developed the mind of his own.
Another listener is
Because
here.
back and may not win.
Good morning.
Good morning, Citizen Jones.
Yes,
Thank
sir.
you very much. Yeah, I think we know where.
It's not only Citizen Jones in the studio. It's not only Citizen Jones in the studio.
Your name is.
And the people in the studio too, the series and Moses. Thank you. So series is PDP, Moses is balanced. Thank you. So in the Ondo election, there is no issue. If you see any candidate complaining, they know that they are losing. That's why they will start complaining. They want to prepare your mind so that when they lose, they will have something to say. It's a Trump way of getting people to follow them after they've lost election. And that's what Obi did. That he lost election, he's still saying he won. So that is just Nigeria for you. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Nigeria will hail thee. Until we share this posture, we let go of this our forever bellicose posture towards election. It must be me or no one. Then we don't move forward.
So?
We don't have to say it.
Sorry, we have a listener here.
Good morning, Citizen Jones.
I greet you, sir.
And Mr. Sewell and the other analysts.
Morning, sir.
Thank you for doing a great job. But the other man, I forgot his name, he's not educating us. Does it mean that if there is an anomaly in an election, somebody should not complain? Complaining does not mean that you are conceding defeat or whatever. Because he's trying to blame the PDP candidate for complaining that the wreck is from Ondo State. Is this proper? Good? For him to have identified that, does it make him now crying foul or showing that he's going to lose the election? He's not educating us very well. We are listening.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay.
He should complain with facts. That's all I've said. I'm not against.
No, he
has
did
right.
now. He did.
With facts.
He has been holding meetings with these people and so on. Why hasn't police latched on to it? Oh, God, say come.
Buala, they tell us.
Yes.
Not
with
that
facts.
You.
With no, can you tell that you have one video evidence to show that? Oh,
Citizen Jones,
this is it.
Yeah. We are on radio here. I know the kind of thing where I go talk now. In 5 minutes time, they will swarm this whole building. It is true. Somebody has said this woman is compromised.
The only reason they may come around is when you see something treasonable and you won't say that. What truth is this? Let him come out with
he does not need to do that. That's what I'm telling you. He does not. What more facts do you need?
He just said it, and by the way,
is that the blanket
assuming but not
statement?
even assuming but not conceding that he said some of these things. Good enough. He can always approach the tribunal after the election.
What are you?
And show
after the fact.
Dr.
Adebayo, you are the one proposing this. After.
We know the trajectory of an average Nigerian politician.
Prevention is better
than
than
can always pretend.
Another listener is here. Good morning, please.
Good morning, citizen.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, this is Charles from First House.
Charles, welcome.
Siri, please don't waste your time arguing about this thing. We know where they belong. Citizen,
we are Nigerians.
Therefore, you are ABC. APC supporters. So
no, hold on, sir. I didn't quite get your name.
It's Charles.
William,
have I impugned the law?
You are APC.
Am I going against any law by belonging in your APC? I belong in your APC. Please.
So,
say something else.
You know you live beside my house now, so you know where I vote.
Allow them to finish let them talk. Siri, please keep quiet. Let them finish the thing.
Siri will not keep quiet. Siri is also analyzing.
Mr. Charles.
Oh, God have mercy. Nigeria, we hail the.
I don't know what, but I never knew they made a law. for against anybody supporting APC.
I think soon the National Assembly will sit on that.
Whatever that
they will sit on that. Don't worry.
Hello, I have a caller here, a listener. Welcome.
Hello.
Good morning. Yeah.
Yes. Do you allow me to speak for the second time?
Okay, you have activated your line.
I'm okay now. Okay, what I want to say now is that this is Ondo election coming up today. Anybody that complain between PDP and APC, they want to bring forward to Ondo State. This is what I'm against. Any winner today, let us take it as it is. Because both PDP and APC, they are potential election riggers. Only the master guy, only because the winner. Good morning to you.
That was below the belt. Potential election riggers. And it's unhealthy. It's unhealthy. We want to get there by hook or by crook. It doesn't make any sense. At the end of the day, we won't give good service. We don't offer good governance. And we still go around in circles. We don't need this. Let us grow. I hope Ondo State will give us a spectacle today like I witnessed last week. And we'll even witness again next week. I hope so. I don't pray anyhow, but I hope so.
Yeah, but except that hope does not build democracy. Democracy is built by a willingness to.
Well, somebody's giving us renewed hope.
To evolve and to be and to be determined to effect changes where necessary. What have we? The former minister for information went to Washington to say that the government deliberately shut down the server for election result transmission. So
can the person prove it? We don't just make statements that is so reckless. We don't make statements and you take that hook, line, and sinker.
Whom did I say said this?
I wouldn't want to know the person. Let the person just prepare and give facts that they shut it down because they wanted to rig in favor of someone. All these things are just as in beer parlor talk.
Dr. Adebayo.
For real.
Dr. Adebayo.
I'm not. See, if there is someone that ever got his finger burnt because he supported Trump, I have stopped doing that.
I have a listener here.
Hello?
Welcome. Good morning.
Hello, Citizen Jones, Cyril, and my man, Adebayo. This is what we're calling from.
Good morning.
If Dr. Adebayo is not my friend, now I would have said something, but comma is rare. I still love comma. You see, when PDP were doing what they were doing, they didn't know that one day there will be a party like APC that would come to deal with them. So whatever we are doing, we have children. Our Adebayo's son might be in PDP tomorrow, and when they start dealing with him, they should not complain.
I won't.
That is how life is. So what is happening in Nigeria? When somebody is not doing well, she should have recused herself from this particular. What is wrong with recusing? That is why in football they have what they call VAR. When you are not sure of what is them, they will review and look at things will be good. That is why white man, black people, what is in our brain? Is it cockroaches we have in our brains or what?
You are sounding like a Russian.
Obi,
you are sounding like a Russian.
Thank you. The VAR thing where you mentioned just reminds me that in England, there are 20 clubs in the Premiership. 19 of them said yes to VAR. The odd one out was Wolves. And when Wolves had a game about 2 weeks ago, it required VAR.
But that VAR is about to be improved upon. That's just another thing.
Okay.
But for real,
all right, gentlemen, we must begin to go. Cyril, how do you close your account here?
I think that what is wrong is wrong. If you want to have an election that is free, fair, credible, and transparent, then tick all the boxes properly. Make sure that justice is served and is seen to be served.
Yes.
Anything that carries the appurtenances of suspicion and double dealing and things like that must be dealt with, must discarded so that the process can be seen through. I'm not from Ondo State, and neither am I voting there today, but the things I'm hearing from where I am, I could tell that this thing has been wired to suit a particular interest, and that's not friendly.
We're free with our opinions. Only that the Labour Party has not stepped in properly. They gave us something that made us hope that, maybe there is a real third party. Otherwise, APC, not stellar. PDP, not saintly. But what should be the bridge naturally isn't there. Elections will come and go. Ondo State will vote today. Please let Nigeria be properly advertised through these off-cycle elections. It's not a do or die. Whoever wins, congratulations in advance. Thank you, and I greet everyone that has listened. Thank you very much.
All right. Gentlemen, I'm sure you know that a new party has joined the fray. We are waiting for INEC to register it, the ACC. You heard it? The ACC is here. Says it wants to challenge.
What's ACC? What does it mean, sir?
President Tinubu for the 2027 election.
You are keeping us in suspense. What's ACC? What does it mean?
Well,
I'm giving you a job.
ACC, because some people are listening now. You don't just say Luth. What is the meaning of Luth?
Well, Allied Conservatives Congress. That's the name of the.
Thank you for that.
The party. All right, folks. We have done our job. Radio is to excite. Some people think it's to incite, but it's essentially a vehicle that makes you realize your catharsis. We give you something to talk about. Ondo election is on today, and so we are giving context and clarity to the process. After 64 years, to say we are still in the classroom is a matter for deep regret. But on a happy note, Cyril, you are familiar with this. Today is November 16. Reminds me of the late Dr. Zeke and the late Professor Chino Achebe. They were born on this day.
Some of the greatest minds Nigeria ever produced.
Two of the greatest minds in this country.
Yes.
And so I salute them.
Yes.
Moses Adebayo, thank you for coming.
Always a pleasure.
And Cyril Abaku.
A pleasure.
We're out of here. Good morning.
Bye-bye.